You were not born to blend in. You were not meant to shrink, apologize, or wait for permission. There's a fire inside you, but it's been buried under expectations, fears, and a voice that says, maybe I'm not enough. That ends today, because today you're going to hear the truth. The truth that ordinary women don't become extraordinary by chance. They do it by choice. And I'm about to give you 7 unshakable, unbreakable tips that will pull you out of average and launch you into the realm of unstoppable that you don't have to say a word to own the room. In fact, the most powerful presence doesn't come from noise, it comes from noise. It comes from a silent, magnetic confidence that tells the world, I know exactly who I am. Before you even open your mouth, your energy introduces you. Your posture, your expression, the way you carry yourself, those are not small things. They are your armor. They are your announcement. And the truth is, you've been taught to shrink, to lower your voice, to play nice, to wait until someone else says, go ahead, speak. But extraordinary women never wait to be invited in. They walk in like they were born for it because they were. It starts with posture, yes, but more than that, it starts with a belief that you are enough without needing to overperform or over-apologize. When you enter a space with your shoulders back, your head high, and your eyes steady, you tell the world, I'm not here to take up less space. I'm here to take up the right space. You're not asking for permission, you're not hoping to be seen. You're making it impossible to be ignored. This isn't arrogance. It's alignment. You are aligning your body with your worth, your energy with your identity. But don't confuse presence with perfection. This isn't about being flawless. This is about being real and being rooted. When you walk into that room, you don't need to fake a smile or pretend you're not nervous. Nerves are human. But presence means you walk in anyway, grounded in the truth that you don't need to prove yourself to anyone. That truth silences doubt. It commands attention without ever raising your voice. It doesn't demand the spotlight, but somehow the spotlight finds you. That's the difference between showing up and arriving. You see, average waits to be noticed. Extraordinary walks in with intent. You don't just step into a room, you shift it. You walk in already knowing your value. You're not waiting for someone to validate it. And that shift, subtle as it is, changes everything. People lean in. They listen more closely. They take note, not because you forced it, but because they feel something different. They sense a woman who's not performing but owning her power, owning her presence, owning her right to be in that room, at that table, in that position. Most people underestimate the power of presence. They think it's about appearance or charisma or having the perfect words lined up. It's not. It's about energy. It's about walking into every space with the mindset that you are not less than anyone in that room. You were born to lead, to rise, to command space like it belongs to you, because it does. And the moment you start carrying yourself like that, the world will rise to meet your standard. Your voice is not just sound, it's power. And yet, too many women have been trained to dilute that power, to make their words softer, safer, more digestible for the world around them. You've been told to be polite, humble, nice. But here's the truth, polite doesn't change the world. Power does. And power lies in your voice. When you speak with fire, with certainty, with clarity, you don't just share information, you ignite transformation. Your words can start movements, change lives, shift destinies. But only if you stop holding them back. There's a difference between talking and speaking. Talking fills silence. Speaking commands it. When you speak with intention, with meaning, every sentence becomes a statement of identity. You're not just throwing words into the air, you're building something. Confidence, authority, legacy. And here's what extraordinary women understand: you don't need to say a lot to say something important. But when you do speak, every word must carry weight. No fluff, no fillers. Just truth, raw, bold, and unapologetic. That's what people feel. That's what they remember. Too often, women second guess their voice before it even leaves their mouth. You rehearse. You shrink. You edit your truth to make it more comfortable for others. But why should your truth be trimmed? Why should your experience be diluted to fit someone else's comfort zone? Extraordinary women speak their truth without fear. Not to be liked, not to be accepted, but because the truth matters more than approval. Because their voice is not a whisper hiding in the shadows, it's a force that refuses to be ignored. And no, it's not about being loud, it's about being clear. There is power in knowing exactly what you want to say and saying it with conviction. Don't talk around the point, drive straight through it. Don't ask, is it okay if I say this? Say it. Own it. Speak it like your life depends on it, because sometimes it does. Your voice is how you define boundaries, how you break silence, how you say, this is who I am, and I won't be moved. Clarity is magnetic. The world leans in when you speak like you mean it. But understand this, using your voice doesn't mean this. In fact, speaking with fire often means stepping into discomfort. It means saying the hard things. How you dress is not just about fabric and fashion, it's about frequency. It's a reflection of how you see yourself, and more importantly, how you want the world to see you. The moment you get dressed, you're making a silent declaration about your identity. And the question you should ask yourself every single morning is this: am I dressing like the woman I was or the woman I am becoming? Because ordinary women dress for the day. Extraordinary women dress for their destiny. Powerful. This is not about money. It's about intention. It's about walking into your closet and asking, what energy do I want to carry today? Not what's trending. Not what will make me fit in. But what makes me feel unstoppable. You don't need a stylist to look like a leader. You need self-respect. You need to know your worth so deeply that everything you put on your body reflects it: every shoe, every jacket, every color. Your style becomes your armor, your strategy, your story. And here's where most women go wrong. They dress from a place of insecurity instead of a place of vision. They dress to hide, not to be seen. They wear what makes them feel invisible or safe instead of what makes them feel unforgettable. But what you wear should never shrink you. It should elevate you. You should look in the mirror and see a woman who is ready to walk into any room and command it. Not because of what's on her body, but because of what it represents: strength, clarity, boldness, ambition. Extraordinary women don't save their best for special occasions. They treat every day like it is a special occasion. Because life doesn't wait for the perfect moment to show up, it rewards the woman who shows up prepared. If you want to attract higher energy, bigger opportunities, more powerful rooms, you have to dress like you belong in them before you get there. You have to show the universe that you're already living in the reality you're building. You have to show up like the future version of yourself is already here, walking beside you. And yes, people notice. People feel your energy before you even say a word. They register how you present yourself. They make subconscious decisions about how to treat you based on how you carry yourself. This is not vanity. This is psychology. When you put yourself together with intention, with presence, with respect, you're telling the world, take me seriously. You're telling yourself that you're worth being seen. Confidence becomes visible. Power becomes wearable. And your appearance becomes a silent form of leadership. So stop treating style like a side note. Stop dressing like you're trying to disappear. Stop reaching for comfort when what you really want is elevation. You're not just getting dressed. You're building a brand, you're casting a vision. You're creating alignment between who you are on the inside and how you show up on the outside. You are the message before you ever speak. So dress like it. Show up like it. Walk through this world like every thread on your body was chosen by the woman who refuses to be ordinary. Your environment is either building you or breaking you, there is no in between. The people you surround yourself with shape your mindset, your confidence, your standards. If you're constantly around people who gossip, complain, play small, or live in fear, don't be surprised when your own power starts to shrink. Energy is contagious. You either rise with those who push you higher or you stay stuck with those who pull you down. If you want to transform your life, start by transforming your circle. Extraordinary women don't just protect their peace, they curate it. Too many women stay loyal to toxic comfort zones. Friends who don't celebrate their growth. Family who belittle their dreams. Co-workers who thrive on negativity. But here's the truth. Just because someone's been in your life for years doesn't mean they deserve front row access to your future. Longevity doesn't equal alignment. Sometimes the hardest and most necessary act of self-respect is creating distance. Not out of hatred. Not out of the deep understanding that your energy is sacred and not everyone deserves it. It's not about surrounding yourself with perfect people. It's about choosing people who challenge you, stretch you, and reflect the version of you that you're becoming, not the version you're trying to outgrow. You need voices around you that speak life, not fear. People who talk ideas, not people. Women who chase impact, not approval. Look around your circle and ask yourself, do they celebrate my evolution or do they feel threatened by it? Because anyone who feels uncomfortable when you grow is showing you they were only ever comfortable when you were shrinking. You have to get intentional with who you allow into your mental, emotional space. Set higher standards. Choose alignment over attachment. You don't have time to entertain low vibration conversations when you're building a high vibration life. Every text, every phone call, every meeting, these are not neutral exchanges. They either charge you up or drain you dry. And the more you evolve, the more sensitive you become to what no longer fits. That's not a sign of arrogance. That's a sign of clarity. There's one who knows her worth. Don't be afraid to outgrow people. That's what growth looks like. You're not born to stay the same. Your circle should reflect your transformation, not restrict it. Think of your energy like a bank account. Would you keep handing out your savings to people who only take and never invest? Of course not. You become what you consume. Every book you read, every show you binge, every scroll through social media, it's not just passing time, it's shaping your mindset. And most women don't even realize that their thoughts, beliefs, and confidence are being silently sculpted by what they feed their brain. If you constantly absorb drama, negativity, and surface-level distractions, you're programming yourself for chaos. But when you choose to feed your mind with power, knowledge, and inspiration, you're programming yourself for greatness. Extraordinary women are not just intentional about what they eat, they're intentional about what they read, hear, and absorb. Your mental diet is either building your future or blocking it. When you spend hours scrolling through comparison traps, watching highlight reels that make you feel less than, you slowly chip away at your confidence. You don't even notice it at first, but over time, self-doubt creeps in. You start questioning your journey. You start shrinking your dreams. But extraordinary women refuse to consume content that makes them feel small. They choose mentors over influencers. They choose education over distraction. They feed their minds content that lifts them, teaches them, fuels them. Because they know what enters your mind will shape your reality. Books are one of the most powerful tools in the transformation arsenal. Why? Because books are a direct download of someone else's decades of experience, success, failure, and wisdom compressed into a few hundred pages. That's not just information. That's access. Reading isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. It's how you train your brain to think at a higher level. When you read about mindset, leadership, wealth, resilience, you start to rewire your identity. You begin to see what's possible. You begin to speak differently, move differently, decide differently, and eventually come different. But it's not just about books. It's also about who you listen to. Podcasts, audiobooks, interviews, motivational speeches. When your daily soundtrack is filled with voices of power, strategy, and insight, you're conditioning your mind for elevation. Think of your mind like a garden. Whatever you water will grow. If you water fear, fear grows. If you water faith, faith grows. And audio content is one of the most powerful daily sources of that nourishment. Even 10 minutes a day can shift your entire energy. That's the secret extraordinary women know. They don't wait for motivation. They feed it. And you must also guard your focus like it's gold, because it is. Every time you pick up your phone out of boredom, every hour spent watching mindless content, you're spending your most valuable currency, attention. Attention creates reality. And most women spend it like it's worthless. But if you want to be extraordinary, you have to use it like an investor, putting it only where there's return. You have to filter out the noise and choose signal. Choose clarity over chaos. Choose learning over entertainment. Choose growth over gossip. Your future demands that kind of discipline. So ask yourself what's feeding your mind right now. Are you nurturing your dreams or numbing them? Are you rising or are you running in circles? The content you consume becomes the content you create through your actions, your habits, your choices. So if you want to walk, talk, and live like the woman you know you can become, start by changing what you absorb. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. But one intentional piece of content a day, one idea, one page, one podcast can shift your entire trajectory. Because when your mind changes, everything changes. Confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build. And one of the most powerful ways to build it is through bold action. Action is the antidote to self-doubt. When you hesitate, overthink, or wait for the right moment, you stay stuck in your head, and that's where fear thrives. But when you move and you act, even if it's messy or uncertain, something magical happens. You prove to yourself that you're capable, that you're courageous, and that courage compounds. Ordinary women wait for permission. Extraordinary women create momentum. They don't wait to feel ready, they move until they become ready. Small, bold actions taken consistently are what separate those who dream from those who do. You don't need to leap off cliffs every day to prove your bravery. Sometimes boldness looks like sending that email, starting that business, speaking up in that meeting, booking that solo trip, posting that first video. It's those micro moments where you choose to stretch instead of shrink that stack into something unstoppable. Confidence isn't built in the shadows. It's built in the spotlight of risk. You grow when you dare. And you rise when you do the thing you told yourself you couldn't. Fear never fully disappears, but bold women move with fear, not away from it. They feel it in their chest, acknowledge it, and still walk forward. That's not recklessness, that's leadership. The difference between an average life and an extraordinary one often comes down to 5 seconds of bravery. 5 seconds to make the call. 5 seconds to say yes. 5 seconds to say no. Those are the pivots that rewrite your story. Bold action teaches your nervous system that you are in control. That fear can knock, but it doesn't get to lead. It's easy to look at confident women and think, she was born that way. No, she wasn't. She trained for it. She acted when it was uncomfortable. She failed, got back up, and acted again. Repetition built her resilience. Rejection sharpened her edge. Every bold step she took rewrote her identity. Her confidence became her default, not her wish. That's what bold action gives you. It doesn't just change your circumstances, it changes your self-image. And when your self-image shifts, your standards rise to meet it. That's when life starts to reflect your power, not your fear. And boldness isn't just about taking risks for the sake of drama, it's about alignment. It's about saying yes to what stretches your soul and no to what suffocates it. It's about being so deeply rooted in your purpose that staying silent, playing small, or settling becomes more painful than the discomfort of acting. Boldness becomes your compass, your strategy, your lifestyle. It turns your intentions into outcomes, your dreams into deadlines, your someday into right now. And you'll know you're living boldly when people start calling you too much. That's the confirmation you're no longer apologizing for your power. So the question isn't, what if I fail? The question is, what if I don't try? What would your life look like if you acted boldly every day, in every space, as if nothing was off limits? That version of you already exists. She's not waiting for more time, she's waiting for more action. Because action is how you meet her. You don't need permission to be powerful. You just need to start moving like you already are. Boldly, bravely, relentlessly. The life you want isn't on the other side of fear. It's on the other side of bold. So here's the truth. Extraordinary isn't a title someone hands you, it's a decision you make daily. It's not about perfection. It's not about having it all figured out. It's about rising when you want to hide, speaking when you want to shrink, choosing growth over comfort, again and again. It's in how you show up, how you think, how you carry yourself. Every action, every choice, every moment is a vote for the woman you're becoming. Ordinary is crowded, safe, predictable. But extraordinary, that's rare air, that's earned. And it starts the moment you stop waiting and start becoming. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now,